Just had an interesting conversation about phobias with a pal of mine, and yeah, so he was questioning. He had a conversation with somebody else, okay, and that inspired the conversation with me because he thought, you know, maybe I'll provide some insight for him, and I think I did. Anyway, so we're only really born with one true fear, and that fear is falling. Okay? That is our innate birthright. Okay, we've got the fear of falling because if this breaks, okay, and my brains spill out, I'm a goner, or there's going to be some severe damage. So my fear when I'm born is of falling, okay, cracking my head open, and that being essentially the end of it. Okay, it's my only fear I'm born with. But on the other hand, we've got phobias, okay? And he was saying about his mum's fear of snakes. Now, she's English, and as far as I know, she's not grown up in a foreign country where snakes exist. So, her fear of snakes is kind of irrational. Okay? Kind of irrational. There's no reason. My wife, hey, she's scared of frogs. Okay, what's a frog gonna do? But in some countries, excuse me, stuff blown in my eye. In some countries, obviously, snakes do exist, okay, and they're poisonous and they are dangerous. So maybe it is good in certain countries, in certain parts of the world, to have a fear to an extent, or at least a wariness of snakes, okay, because they might be hiding in your boots, or be hiding in a cupboard, or somehow sneak into your van or your truck or your car, and do you know what? You don't want those guys there, because if they bite you, well, you might be in serious trouble. Okay, you could die. So in some places it is right to have that fear, okay, or awareness, as I said. Hopefully you can hear me in the wind. So are we born with more than simply the fear of falling? And my answer to that question is, well, actually, yes. Okay, most of them are learnt. Okay, most of them are learnt, and most are irrational. Okay, but can we be born with fears? I think the answer to that question is yes. Okay, because we need to look at the animal kingdom. We need to look at animals. Okay, how does a bird know how to fly south for winter? Okay, or if you're in the southern hemisphere, maybe it flies north. Okay, but how does a bird know how to migrate? Okay, it doesn't get taught how to migrate. Okay, its mum and its dad often will just bugger off and leave. Okay, leaving that bird at the nesting site with all the other fledglings who are like, I don't know, what are we supposed to do? Okay, they don't all club together and go, oh, I know, this is what we've got to do, guys. We've got to go to school, we've got to learn how to fly, learn how to fish, okay, learn how to navigate the world. Okay, I need to get my compass out, get my GPS, learn all these things, okay, and then I'm going to live. Okay, they don't need to do that. They just do it, okay, because it is kind of imprinted on them. It's not in their genetic code, but it is imprinted on the psyche and on the consciousness of that animal to behave and do things in a certain way. So, do we have phobias? Do we have like fears kind of intrinsically kind of given to us, passed down? And kind of the answer to that is kind of yes, really, because our parents have grown up in a certain environment, and their parents grew up in a certain environment, and there might have been a advantage to do or think things in a certain way, okay? And they've kind of passed that on to you, either through training, okay, and teaching you the rights and wrongs, okay, or words and phrases that they've used, how they brought you up, okay, things that went on in your life, events, okay, or possibly are they imprinted essentially on your consciousness? Okay, and because it's happened for generations and generations, okay, maybe 5, 6, 7, tens, thousands of generations, I don't know, okay, hundreds of generations, maybe it's happened for a long time. So is it encoded onto humanity or a certain community in humanity? Maybe it probably is. Okay, it probably is, because it happens in the animal kingdom and we see it. But is our life now the same as it was 5,000 years ago, 200 years ago, 50 years ago? So those epigenetic or consciousness encoding bits. Hiya. Hello. Oh, sorry, mate. Is that still the right thing to believe? You know, all these things that we got trained to think, things that we got trained to believe as a youngster, that our parents got trained to believe by their parents, and who got trained to believe them by their parents, by their parents, by their parents, ad infinitum. Okay? Is it really true? It might have been true 500 years ago that was the right thing to believe, because it kept you safe, okay, it kept you alive, okay, it kept you happy, kept you complete, okay? It might have found you love, okay, it might have found you happiness 500 years ago. Now, is it still the right thing to believe? Okay, because bloody hell, world's changed a bit in 500 years. Okay? It's changed quite a lot, okay? Even in the last 20 or 30 years. Okay? World's changed a huge amount. Not just technology, but all sorts of things. So those beliefs that you had when you were a child, hey, do you still believe in Santa? Hey? Probably not. Hey? You might believe in the sentiment of Santa, but you don't actually believe there is a jolly fat guy who lives at the North Pole with his elves creating Christmas presents all year round for all the children of the world. Okay, you don't actually believe that, unless you do. Maybe you do. Okay, but maybe you believe in the sentiment of giving and kind of fairness and kindness and spreading love and spreading joy. That's kind of what Christmas is about, right? Okay, that's how I see it now anyway. So we don't believe the same things we believed as a child. We don't need to believe the same things that our parents believed. We don't need to believe the same things that our grandparents believed. And we certainly don't need to believe the same things that thousands of years ago helped us survive, okay? But it is almost imprinted on what some people would call, and maybe I would myself, yeah, I'd say that, okay, on the collective unconscious, okay? So basically the sum total of everyone in the world's thoughts now, in the past, and forevermore. Okay, so there's this code, there's this set of instructions that says humans do this, okay, humans fear that, okay, or certain communities, that's what they believe. But is it still applicable? Is it still the right thing to believe? Believe it or not? Okay, well, you should believe it, because this is true. Okay, this all came about because I was asked about phobias. Okay, are phobias taught? Okay, or are we born kind of with innate fears? Okay. The only true fear we should be born with is the fear of falling, okay? Because that's going to affect, sits in the cold, starts tumbling around, falls over, cracks their head. It's the same thing at that point. It will affect how they walk for the rest of their life. Or if they fall down the stairs, that's a big problem. In the UK, you don't need that. So, not about it too much, okay? So, why? If I lived in India, Australia, America, South America, UK, it's not applicable. Okay? So why believe that? Why have that thought? What a waste of energy. Otherwise I'd be in this field worrying about adders. Is it adders that are poisonous? Hey, what wasps? Okay, that's about all we know. Fly my eye. Not scared. Right. Have a great day. Have a great day. Stop being scared of things you don't need to be scared of. Stop having fears of things you don't need to be afraid of. Challenge what you think about the world, about people, about money, about relationships. Hey, are they really true? Are they applicable now? Are they applicable for everyone? If they're not applicable now, they might have been applicable in the past, might have been true 50 years ago, might have been true 20 years ago, might have been true 5 years ago, might have been true last year. Is it still true? Hey, is it true for every human being? Okay, that's the real question. Is it true for every human being? And if it's not true for every human being, then it is not true. It is not true if it is not true for every human being. So challenge your beliefs, okay? You can change them. You probably don't believe in Santa. You probably don't believe in the tooth fairy. Like, as in, is there an actual little fairy that comes around and takes children's teeth and replaces it with money in the middle of the night? Nope. Unless there is, I don't know. Hey, but is that your belief? Hey, child, yeah, fine, believe that. Hey, but at some point you change your belief. Hey, so it is possible to change your beliefs. Hey, they are not fixed. People change religions all the time. Hey, from Christianity to Islam, or Islam to Christianity, or Judaism, or Hindu, or whatever. Hey, or you know, they are religious and then they're not religious, or they're not religious and then they are religious. Okay, people change their beliefs all the time, depending on what they read, what they think, who they hang around with, what their environment is. It happens all the time. So try not to hold on to your beliefs, okay? Because if they're not serving you, they're hindering you. Change what you believe, you can change your world. I do online treatment for pain, okay? Amongst other things, coaching as well, okay? Predominantly focused on pain. And, well, some people have got to change their beliefs to be able to allow that to happen. Okay? To call me up and say, Pete, I need your help. Okay? I've got pain here, pain there, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, gut problems, IBS, diverticulitis. Hey, they need to believe that I can help, otherwise they won't even call me in the first place. They won't even send me that message. Okay? They won't even turn up. Okay? So you've got to change your beliefs, guys. Okay? Because otherwise, if you think you're stuck with it, fuck me, you are. Okay? Henry Ford quote, if I can remember it right now. Okay. No, hang on, there's a different one, hang on. Abracadabra, the meaning of the word abracadabra. Okay, I learned this September last year. Okay. The meaning of the word abracadabra, you create what you believe. Okay, so change what you believe, you can change what you create. Okay, that's your life, everything, relationships, financial situation, where you live, what you do, okay, your job, friend, whatever. Okay, you can change anything you like. Okay, just depends on what you believe. And if you believe you're unfriendly, well, chances are you don't have many friends. Maybe you need to believe that you are friendly, and maybe you'll find some more. Okay, maybe you believe people don't believe you. Okay, people don't believe what I say. Okay, it's a belief I'm working on. People don't believe you. People don't believe me. Well, if people don't believe me, then why the fuck am I doing these videos? Okay, so I've got to change my belief so that people believe me. And if I go into these videos thinking people don't believe me, then it's almost pointless me doing these videos. Okay, because if I thought people don't believe me, I wouldn't even do them. Okay, I wouldn't have the courage to do them if I thought nobody believed me. So I know at least some people do, because otherwise this would be a complete and utter waste of 15-20 minutes of my time. I could have been walking normally instead of holding my phone and just enjoying the view. Hey, never mind. Alright, so I know people believe me. I know it's out there. Thank you. Have a great day. Oh, and subscribe, that'd be great. Leave a comment, that would also be great. Share it, also be great. Tag someone, that'd be amazing. And if you need help with pain, stuff you think or you've been told you cannot change, it's with you for life, well, send me a message, because that's what I do. I help people who've been told those kinds of things. Okay? Frozen shoulder takes 3 years to fix on its own. BS. Frozen shoulder, 2, 3, 4 sessions, maybe less, maybe a bit more. Doesn't take that long. Okay? Might even take less sometimes. Okay? Might even be just a bit of advice that I need to give. Okay? Just that nugget. Okay? A little gold nugget fixes a problem. Okay? There's all these things that I've read, heard, believed to be true, and if you read them, heard them, and kind of just believed them a little bit, okay, then you can change your life. Okay? All right, I'll leave it. I'm done. Cheerio. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great life.